guys, we are on, and we need to start. And the name of the parasha is called Chayei Sara. And what does Chayei Sara mean? Sara means name, right? Abraham's wife. Chayei means a life. What is the main subject as we start the parasha? The death of Sarah. So why do we call it the life of Sarah, right? I mean, that's the biggest question. And the idea is that this week is a week of resurrection. Resurrection of your desire, resurrection of your love. Resurrection of everything is within this Torah, within this parasha. What is in your life that it's not seem to work? What is in your life that need to be refreshed? How do you refresh your relationship with people? How do you refresh things? What do you need to do? By the way, we know that if you want to create something new, you have to bury it first. If you want to create a new fruit, you have to bury the seed in the ground. Without burying the seed in the ground, how are you going to have a new tree? So it's kind of got to let go of the seed to create a new tree. And nobody likes to let go of the seeds. They keep it in their hand. And no tree is coming. And then they complain why nothing is coming. Well, you got to bury it. Once you bury it, there is a chance. Same thing, by the way, by body and soul. You know, when you bury the body, unfortunately, it's a very difficult thing to do, but it's giving a chance for the soul to be reincarnated into a new body. So what is happening here? I mean, if you look at the story point, if you don't even in Kabbalah or Zohar, it's a very interesting story, business deal, real estate deal. Avram is basically negotiating a deal to get a land so he can bury his wife. Now, the question that everybody asks, the commentary, 10, 20 commentary, have an argument here if it's right what he did. It's an argument. And the argument go like that. There is a piece of land, you know it's worth $1 million. They want to sell it for $100. You don't tell him why it's worth $1 million. And you offer him even instead of $100, $400, and you take it. Is it cheating or not? So the whole commentary go to a fight over that and again and again. And the Zohar solve it. And the Zohar say, אין דבר מתגלה אלא לבעליו. Something is supposed to reveal to the true owner of that something. So if it's yours, then of course it will be revealed to you and only you know the true value. But if it's not yours, you will never know the true value. Sometimes, same things happening with the relationship, soulmate. You know, a woman look at the man, she doesn't like him, that man get married and have a great life with that woman they met. Same thing with a man, met a woman, they don't think she's good enough, she get married, she have bad. So something is only can be revealed to the true owner. So that's what it is. Now, then he buy the land, it's called Hebron. So now there shouldn't be a fight there in that city because Abraham is the owner. We know who's the owner, he signed contract, it belonged to him. He paid full money. But the question, who is the children of Abraham? Is it Ishmael or is Isaac? So that's why there is a split till today. The Ishmael kids, okay, say it belongs to us. The Yitzchak kids say it belongs to us. That's why till today. What the other land that he bought, that Jacob bought, he bought Shechem, Nablus. Till today there is a fight. Shouldn't be a fight there, by the way. This whole thing belongs to Jacob. And this thing, right? When you look at the history, you just have to read history. Anyway, but that's not what we're going to talk about. I'm just going to the story. So in a very smart way, Abraham buy the land, teaching us diplomacy is part of spirituality. If you don't know how to act with diplomacy, you're lacking some spirituality. Diplomacy is not the goal, but it's part of spirituality. So if you know how to negotiate well, most probably you're spiritual as well. But not every diplomat is spiritual, okay? But every spiritual should be diplomat, okay? But not every diplomat is spiritual, because diplomat can be manipulative. Then after that, Avram sending his servant to find a wife to his son. Beautiful story. If you read about it, we're going to go to it today. Send him to find a wonderful woman. He doesn't know how to do it. He makes a deal with God. Say, God, I'm going to ask this woman to give me water. if you give me water and also give it to my camels, she is a soulmate. Where did he come up with that? He came up with his own idea. His master didn't tell him, this didn't tell him. From here, we learn that giving water to the guests is a very important thing. That's the number one thing that you basically test the place. And usually I will not stay in a hotel that while I wait, no one offering me water. There be no it. I always leave. I don't stay. I say, I'm sorry, I'm checking. I'm not the one to stay here. You know, water is the first sign of kindness, of chasadim, of mercy. If the person cannot even offer you a glass of water, run for your life. Run to the hill. Because that's a minimum. I mean, something. There is people who will be cheap on water, then they will be cheap on everything in life. Water is the minimum. If they don't even offer you water, they will not offer you anything for the rest of your life. So that's why water is chesed, mercy, kindness. And for that reason, you know, she offered him water for him, for his camel. Her name is Rebecca. And we know what the future, she get married with Isaac. She's a soulmate, and but her father is a very tough man. His name is Lavan. And her brother is Lavan. And now Lavan, using all kind of black magic to prevent the generation of Isaac and Jacob to be born. His whole goal to work for the Dark Lord is never to let this generation called the Israelite to be born. He's there to prevent it. And the beautiful that Eliezer, the servant of Avram, say, it's a very beautiful thing what he say. He said, listen, you guys decide what you want. I will tell you first the story, you decide. He tell them the whole story, he made the deal with God, and that's what God did. He said, if you think it's the wrong thing, I'm leaving now. But if they believe in God, even the people who use black magic believe in God. And they realize it came from God, they back off and say, okay, whatever you say, we're going to do. And it's just a beautiful thing. The end of the parasha, it's kind of weird to women mostly. Women get weird on that part. Sara is dead, Avram is alone, and he's taken a woman, he remarry again. Who did he remarry to? The commentary say it was actually Agar. Remember Agar from last week, the one who kicked out from the tent? They get together again. They change her name. And Yitzchak is very happy with Rebecca. He loves her. He's the only man who actually say about him he loves his wife. Only one. No other man say love. The only place that they use love, Isaac and Rebecca. We need to talk about it tonight too. And then here it say, Avram took another woman named Keturah. Her name is Keturah. Who is Keturah? Rashi said, Agar. Why Keturah? Why she changed her name? Because her acts are beautiful like a Ketoret. Ketoret is the incense. You know, when you put smoke and it smells good. And why she's so special? Because she never make love to any other man after she left Avram, until he took her back. Shocking, right? I guess it's a difficult thing to do. I don't know, I'm not a woman, but yes, that's what it say. I'm just reading section. I highly respect the commentary. I heard it's not, but because the commentaries say, I have to mention it. It's written there. I will read it so people don't judge me at home. Here, שלא נזדווגה לאדם מיום שפרשה מאברהם. That's in Hebrew for people who maybe judge me. So I want to make sure. If somebody judge you for something you didn't do, they get punished. So, but if you didn't tell them that you're not wrong, you get punished. So that's why I have to do it. It's called a front of a blind man, do not put an obstacle. So they are blind if I don't tell them. So now I told them, so I'm free, they are free, everybody's up. Good, so that's the story. Beautiful story, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful story. Now we're going to dig in and see what we're dealing with. And what I did tonight, I prepared a section from the Torah and a section from the Zohar as a parallel. So you can see how the Zohar dig in slowly to take words by words and explain it. I think it's important for you also to do that. It's a good exercise. So we're going to start by what happened after life. You know, most people don't like that subject because they don't believe in afterlife. And I cannot convince you, but there is afterlife. I mean, this life is a joke just to wake you up, maybe. It's nice. I mean, you wear clothes, you buy clothes, yeah. You're born, diapers, then die. This is the beginning and the end of the story. It's known. You need to know. It's known. Like, it's obvious. For the last more than 5,700 years, you know. So it's the same story for every human being, the same. So we still believe it's not for us. We are, you know, there is a song said, every generation blamed the one before. I don't know if you ever heard it. Al Stewart, the name of the singer. You never heard that name? I'm alone here. Okay, too old. All right, Al Stewart. Every generation blamed the one before. So the idea is it's the same. Same. And we meet the same people that last lifetime, the same. We marry, we change, like there is a cycle of 10,000 people changing. There is a party of 10,000 people and they marry. All day long, the same mix. Sad. So, for that reason, we need to know there is afterlife. What happened a minute after you die? 10 minutes, 25, 35, 1 day, 7 days, 30 days, 1 year. You know, there's cycles. So this life is an experience. It is just a preparation. It's not like the Kabbalists call it hallway. It's not. They don't even consider it a room. It's a hallway to go somewhere. So you are between worlds. You go to this world. You're born, and then next room. But truly, they don't even consider it a room. It's so embarrassing. It doesn't even look at it like something. So for that reason, we need to understand afterlife. So let's first, what we did here, we show you the portion itself, and from the portion, we're going to get it into the Zohar, okay? So let's read it so we get together. Even everybody can read it, but can you read it?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
He had scarcely finished speaking when Rebekah, who was born to Bethuel, the son of Milcah, the wife of Abraham's brother Nahor, came out with her jar on her shoulder.
Remember just the words, okay? Why do we need to know the details of who she was born to? We need to ask those questions, but the Zohar will explain it. Go ahead.
The maiden was very beautiful, a virgin whom no man had known. She went down to the spring, filled her jar, and came up. The servant ran toward her and said, "Please let me sip a little water from your jar."
Okay, story we just tell. Let's continue. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to do the same section from the Zohar, and we see how that go, okay? So let's read it. It's supposed to be easy and simple, but I'm going to go to that. Go ahead.
And it came to pass before he had done speaking, according to Rabbi Yitzchak, Rabbi Yehuda said, while he was thinking of how to try the body, it is written, "Behold, Rivka came out," which is the holy body that is occupied in Torah.
Okay, so when it says that Rebecca came out with the water, it means she was busy with a jar. How do you say jar in Hebrew? Kad. Kad, what's the gematria? What's the abnormal? 24. How many books there is in the Torah? 24. What is the water? The water of the Torah. So, I want to go, because usually I don't do it, but I want to show you how the Torah is so exact, but we sometimes don't have time. So I just going to play with that section a little bit. Go ahead.
It pounds the body for knowledge of the conception of his possessor, who was born to Bethuel.
Why her father has to be named Bethuel? Let's see. Amar Rav Yehuda.
Rav Yehuda said she was the daughter of El, the son
The way you say daughter of God is Betu, Bat, meaning the daughter of El. El means God. You understand? So it's a code. The Zohar tried to tell us we need to break the code. It's not just a story. Are you amazed like how our Torah is so precise to every letter? Go ahead.
who is a son to the king, Malka.
Malka was his mother. Why he has to mention his mother name? Because Malka means queen. Okay? Go ahead.
of the universe. The
Yeah.
wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, alludes to the company of the mind, the body attached to the mind, and is the brother of the soul. And the phrase, with her pitcher upon her shoulder, alludes to the weight of wisdom upon it.
Okay, so it's a beautiful section that I want to show you, and we're going to continue with that, to just show you that even the Torah tells a story. This section specifically is talking about what happened after a human leave this world. What exactly taking place? How is it work? I mean, why this portion, the Zohar said it's all about resurrection and immortality. Why is that? It's important to know. So let's continue, please.
And the servant ran to meet her, refers to Metatron, and said, let me, I pray you, drink a little water of your...
Okay, every time there is a servant, the servant are related to the king of all angels. Usually we don't say that name, but it's okay to say it one time. Matat. Matat is the name of the number one angel. There's billions of angels. He's the king. He's the master of all angels. But so when people in the Bible talk a lot of time about God, they mean him. They don't mean God, because they meet him and they think this is God. He's the God of all angels, but he's not God. So people call it God. They get excited in the Torah many times. Oh, I met God. No, you met this. Okay? Now, you need to know that who was this angel? He was a human first. He was a human. He was Enoch. Enoch who became the angel. Very good. Enoch became the angel. Go ahead.
Give me a hint of the wisdom of the knowledge of your Maker that you dealt with in the world you left. Rabbi Abba said, we've explained that after that it is written, and I put the ring upon her nose and the bracelets upon her hands. Rabbi Abba said, these are the bones that were scattered here and there. He puts them together and weighs them one upon the other, as it is written, and strengthen your bones.
Okay, so now first we learn about the nose. What do you call it? Nose earring? What do you call it then? Nose ring. Good. So you know you didn't start it in this generation. This is about 3,500 years ago. So they used to have nose earring, ring, okay? So they used to do it then. You know, so every time you capture a woman, you put that, she's mine, you're laughing. Quick, here I capture one. Now, yes! That's why when a woman meets a man, always she does that. So but it's beautiful, you know. They give gold right away in the first meeting. They give gold, you know. Maybe that's where the idea of the ring now. Now we know the ring, for people start dating and they, you know, engagement ring they call it, right? Engagement ring. Because this engagement don't exist in the Talmud. This is something invented by I don't know by who. So maybe it came from here, but here it was not called engagement ring. It was as you meet a woman, you put like bracelet all over golds. You know, if you see the grandmother from 200 years ago, they used to have many of those gold things on the, seriously. And then on the nose, but more important, what is that thing according to the Zohar? It said this is related to the bones. Bones. How do you say bones in Hebrew? Atzamot. How do you say essence in Hebrew? Atzmut. Same words. Essence and bones. What do we learn from a healing point of view about the bones? Within the bones, you have the bones marrow that carry basically everything about you. Everything is in your bones marrow. What do you learn from the Zohar more about the bones marrow? The bones marrow basically represent the secret of the human being. You know, we have the bones marrow, you have the bones, right? You have the muscles and the nerve and the ligament, and then you have the skin. All of that things is Yud Ke Vav Ke. So when a person have a healthy bones marrow, that's when the Yud is healthy. The skin is the A of Malchut. So here it say, he put all the bones together, and v'atzamotayich yachalitz. And through that, there is a resurrection. The body meant to be resurrected after the death. Meant to be resurrected. Question is, why? Why don't you just keep it alive? Well, the day a person dies, that's the day that he clean himself or herself more than the entire life. Because the pain of the death, it's a difficult pain. It's a separation from what people know to be the most perfect things, the body. And in that day, they realized it was an illusion. It's not the main part of themselves, the main part is the soul. The body is just a vehicle to be used, important vehicle. Without the body, you wouldn't do any good things. If you want to decide to do good things without the body, you can't do it. You need the body for everything. So the body is the most important thing in this world. But once the person dies, is the most not important thing in your entire life. So while you are alive, the body is the most important. You got to take care of it in the best way. The diet, sport, and all this and that, for the soul to be able to manifest itself through the body. They say that Matat, that angel, in the time that it comes, will put all of the pieces together and resurrect. Let's understand more about it. Please.
Rabbi Abba said, at that time, the body stands in the land of Israel, where the soul enters it. Rabbi Yochanan asks, who conducts the body to the land of Israel? Rabbi Zera said, the Holy One, blessed be He, digs caverns under the ground, and they roll to the land of Israel. Hence it is written, and the earth shall cast out the shades of the dead.
That's not such a fun part. This is called Gilgul Mechilot. After a person dies, should I tell you or should I skip it? Don't the person you want to know, right? If the person buried outside of Israel, there is Mechilot. There is like how do you say Mechilot? It's like a cave, but it's not just a cave. It's like a cave that go under the ground and appear in Israel. So the soul has to go under the ground. It's very painful for the soul, and then appear in Israel because the soul can only live through Machpelah. The only place the soul can go out is in the Machpelah, is in Hebron. So it has to go through all the land and then arrive to Hebron and then the soul leave. So the same thing, as Rabbi Yochanan explained, who's taking the body to Eretz Israel? So the question is he talking about the minute after the person died, or it's talking about the body, how it's going to be resurrected, because only the beginning of resurrection starts in Israel. Where exactly in Israel? In the Mount of Olives. You've been here this time, right? Mount of Olives. Mount of Olives, you know, that's why a lot of Kabbalists being buried there, specifically Rabbi Chaim ben Attar. So the resurrection stayed there. Now, the concept of resurrection is very unclear to most people because it's kind of scary. People jump out of the grave, start walking. But the resurrection has two aspects. There is an aspect of resurrection when the person is still alive, and there is a resurrection when a person dies. The resurrection when a person is still alive is when a person loses an arm or kidney or something like that. It will grow back. That's a different level of resurrection. That's supposed to happen in our time, but I don't know what's blocking it. I have no idea. So if a person is sick, he gets resurrected to be healthy. So it was supposed to start kind of long time ago. The Ari talk about it, when it's supposed to start. There is a blockage. Now, what can be blocking it? The lack of belief of people in the ability of that to happen. So we have more people who don't believe than people who believe. Now, most people who don't believe are men who have more doubts, men or women. Men. Men. It's normal. I don't know if you're aware of that, but if you go online after that, Google and all this and that, and check the level of doubts. Women don't doubt. Once a woman falls in love with a man, she's sure that's her husband. When a man falls in love, he's got to test it. He got to do some test. Why? Why is that? Doubts. Doubts is part of Zeir Anpin. Because Zeir Anpin is not in Malchut. So Zeir Anpin, those of you who don't know, Zeir Anpin is the higher level of consciousness that need to be grounded. How do I know if I need to put the seed in this ground? Don't know. But the Malchut, always ready to do what needs to be done. So for that reason, the other option is that they pull the body all the way to Mount of Olive, and that kind of procedure is not easy. For that reason, comes the tradition to bury people in Israel. You know, that's why the cemetery in Israel is super expensive. You know, to be able to be buried in Israel, especially in the fourth city, Jerusalem, Hebron, Tzfat, and Tveria, you have to pay more than any other graveyard in the world. You know, so it's just not normal. You know, and for that reason, they invented the idea that in every Jewish cemetery, or even Christian, they bring dirt and sand from the Mount of Olive and they pour it in. Now you know why. In every cemetery, they cut it, it's in a plastic, and they pour it in. But I don't want to talk just about death. We've got to get into the point here. So go ahead.
Rabbi Yitzchak said Gabriel conducts them to the land of Israel. How do we know that? From the verse, will you go with this man?
When they ask Rebecca, would you go with this man? Now it's going back to the story. So it said, the man means Gabriel.
Elsewhere it is written, the man Gabriel. Rabbi Yossi asked, why is it written? And Rivka had a brother and his name was Lavan. Rabbi Yitzchak answered, the evil inclination does not pass away from the world. And though it is not entirely present, some of it is.
So the evil inclination is, they name it Lavan. Lavan means white. Why they name it white? Right? Should we call it black? What should we call it? I mean, after all, the desire to see for oneself, selfish desire, a black hole means there is, even the light gets sucked by the black hole. So why they call it Lavan? Lavan means white. And Lavan represents the main part of negativity. He was the most negative human being, more than Bilam. More than Bilam. Within the word Lavan, Lavan means white, there is the word Naval. If you go backward, it's Naval. Naval means like an animal that die. So there is no chayut, there is no energy there. But here, it says to us that Gabriel, the angel, is taking them to Israel. So everybody has to end up in Israel, the bottom line. Everybody. And by the way, when a person dies in Israel, it's very different than he died here. A person dies in Israel, he only can be died by Gabriel, cannot be died by the angel of death. The angel of death is not allowed to make something in Eretz Israel in Israel. It's kind of funny because so many people die in Eretz Israel. So many people die there. It's kind of... But what does that mean? Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination, doesn't go away from the world, even a little bit exist. What does that mean? Let's read the next section to understand.
Come and behold, when it was in this world, it was called Lot. In the world to come, it will be partly cancelled and called Lavan. It is not as corrupt as before, but as one who washed the filth off of himself. He asks, why is there a need for Lavan? Namely, why is it needed to remain in the world? Rabbi Shimon said it is needed for being fruitful and multiply. If there is no evil inclination, nothing is fruitful or multiplies.
That is the secret of Rabbi Shimon. Rabbi Shimon, they're asking a question, why do we need it? If in the end of time, the evil inclination will be cancelled, and it will be pure, like Lavan, meaning white, it will be pure, why do we need it? So Rabbi Shimon answered very quickly, without evil inclination, it will be no children. Because where is the sex desires coming from? You think it's coming from you, right? Or it's coming from your testosterone for the man, or from the hormone for the women, or all the things that you think it's come from you. You don't even choose it. You don't even have to choose to desire it. You don't even know how the sense of smell working. You don't even know what it is. I mean, why do you choose to eat, and why the person choose to make love or to eat? Two things. The Talmud asks it, but every time I talk in front of modern people, they feel shy when I ask it. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Well, those questions been asked 2,000 years ago. What are you shy about? Sex and food. The two things that will never be eliminated from this world. Why? Because within them, it's the only thing that within them, there is a pure evil inclination. It always will come with evil. Why there is evil inclination in them? Because that's what brings you the desire to begin with. If If you don't eat, you die. If you don't make love, there is no children. So within them, they were injecting them purposely with a selfish agenda. So when people, before they make love, have a selfish agenda to enjoy all this, of course, they have to reduce it for the sake of the child. But still, it's there. The same thing with food. You're not supposed to have only selfish agenda with the food. You're supposed to have it for the blessing and so on and so on. So the whole section here, they talk about Rebecca and Isaac. And that shidduch, that kind of putting them together. We are talking about something very serious. We are talking about like putting the soul and the body in such a level of consciousness and understand our body. Our body has to have within it evil inclination. Has to. So when you go out there and have some desire, all what you gotta do is to change the desire for the sake of sharing by saying, I want it, not for me. I want it because I feel like God want to give it to me. And of course you can fool yourself, but that's up to you. You always can come up with a new explanation why you want what you want, even if it sounds super selfish. Now, what is that teaching you? What did you learn from this section for you? It's a question. What did you understand new about yourself right now by listening to it? What does it add to your personality? This fourth section of Zohar. I'm asking you. We have time. Don't push it. Here, I have a gift here. So while you're thinking,
Just bring some awareness to what you're doing,
awareness of what?
of the evil that is
What's with the evil?
present in food and lust and those sort of
And why should we be aware of that?
ego.
Why should we be aware of that?
Rather than coming from a pure thought, you have the understanding that it's not.
Okay, I like it. I like it but to have an understanding. I like it. I like it. Yes, please.
Would it be the creation of ego?
Is it,
Ego.
what about the ego?
You want to reproduce because of ego. You want to eat because of you have an ego to feed.
That's what you understand for yourself from that?
From the evil inclination,
That the evil inclination for you, it's having ego and that's why you want to make love.
subconsciously.
Okay. We don't talk about subconscious, we talk about consciously. Would you agree with that related to you?
That I want to make love because of
Yeah.
I think it's a motivating factor.
Okay, so it's no longer subconscious.
Sure.
Okay, I'm happy. I'm happy about it. I'm happy. No, because subconscious, if you will be subconscious, your evil inclination will be hid forever. Once you say, when a person say, I did it purposely, there is a hope it will change. When a person say, I did it by mistake, they will never change. And if my kids say, well, I stole the cheesecake, but I didn't know, I was not aware I was doing it. People use it today spiritually. So that means they're going to do it again. Until they don't say, absolutely stole that cheesecake. Now they have a choice to do it or not. It's a very important lesson for all of us. Most people think that if you do something by mistake, you can change. The opposite. If you do it purposely, you can change. That's why I love when I meet people who are totally admit they're doing what they're doing. I'm so proud. You know, it's funny, before the class, I had a text from 1.5 hours ago from a person that basically talked about himself, about every single thing he does. He's brave and honest. He doesn't change at all spiritually, but the one thing I can, if I had to find one good thing, is honest and brave. And the reason he's brave because he's honest about what he does. You understand? It's a very important to understand what was your lesson from that, because otherwise it become intellectual lesson, and we want to see how do we take that lesson and apply it in our life. And I like what you're saying. You know, it's very important to start looking at your life differently after this section, because you're no longer, for me, I'm no longer in control when I want something. So it gives you some idea and understanding. Wow, I'm not even in control. So even my evil is not in my control. It's so humiliating. It's humiliating. I'm such a little nothing. When I choose to get angry, it's not even me. No, there's a force to use you. Like the string and you're supposed to get angry. Not even that. I don't even own my own negativity. Give me something. Give me credit for my negativity. No, not even that. So how can you not be humble? We are like, what is that? We are like a pawn on a table, and there is two people playing with that. Well, move right, move left. So it is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. It's when you look at it, but you realize that you can be connecting into the light or into the darkness. And after you connect, you no longer have a choice. You don't have free will. But you have only free will who you're going to serve or what you're going to serve. But after that, you lost your free will. So don't worry about changing yourself. Worry about who you're connecting to. Serving we will be for the rest of our life. But who do we serve? Which master? And again, it's humiliating, but it's important to keep it. That's for me the lesson. Yeah, let's continue. See a different kind of resurrection. Yes, please.
Rabbi Shimon then discoursed on the difference in verse that is written of Isaac, and took Rivkah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. Because it is written that she became his wife, we should assume that he loved her as all the inhabitants of the world love their wives. What was the difference here? That he made it necessary to add, and he loved her.
Okay, so I need to go to Rav Ashlag to answer this question. But first, the question I think is super clear, that why Isaac is the only one who actually say about him, he loved his wife. And I'm going to go a little bit deeper to Rav Ashlag, and I'm going to read in Hebrew, and then it's not appear in the English, so I do my best to translate it. אלא ודאי, התעוררות האהבה של הזכר אל הנוקבה אינה אלא מכף שמאל. The way that the male loved the female, he used the word male loved the female, is coming from the left column. We need to understand what it means left column. שכתוב שמאלו תחת לראשי, it's written that he put his left arm under my head and his right hand hug me. וחושך שהוא כף שמאל, left column consider dark. ולילה and night, שהיא הנוקבה כאחד הם, כי השמאל מעורר תמיד אהבה. Always the left column awakening the love. So we think left column represent night, left column represent darkness, left column represent desire, left column represent ego, left column represent me, myself. From that column, you're awakening the love. We need to understand it. Abraham loved Sara too, but it's never written that he loved her. He loved her, but it's never written there that he loved her. Only Isaac, because Isaac is a left column. If you look at Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Abraham is right column, Isaac is left, and Jacob is center. And it say, now he said, it's not so true because it says that Jacob loved Rachel. It's written there too. And he was in left column. So here it say, because Jacob was the son of Isaac, the left column of Jacob loved Rachel. But the right column loved Leah. Very interesting, right? So you go deeper there, it's unbelievable. So love can only come from a left column. Now we need to understand what is that left column business? How do we do this? How do we love? And the idea, what is left column exactly? Left column is the strongest desire that exists. How does the strongest desire look like? It's basically created by a force that want to give everything. So left column desire is a very unique desire. The desire that we know, I'm hungry, I'm go make food and eat. But what came first? I'm hungry. The left column desire there is food, That's why I need to be hungry. How hungry do I need to be based on the amount of the food? We're not familiar with that type of hunger. We are more familiar with the hunger that being created by an individual, and then you go eat. Same thing with love. We're not familiar that there is so much love out there that's been created. That's why I have to awakening within me the desire for that love. We're familiar with a different kind of love. I'm lonely, I'm empty. I need to love someone. How far that love go? Very small, very little. The other type of love is going so far because I'm not related to my little desire. I'm relating to the abundance that exists within the world. And through that, I'm resurrecting the true essence of love. So when you are about to date, or you're about to connect to people, don't connect based on your need. Again, I'm trying to opening your mind into all new concept and idea when it's come to love life. You gotta look at love more from an aspect of abundance, and for that reason, I'm creating a desire for it. And he continue. What is exactly happening in left column? It's called in Kabbalah Gimel Rishonot, or it's called in Kabbalah Keter Chochmah Binah. If you remember, the idea of left column, it's exactly where the tzimtzum take place, the contraction, the restriction. Why do we need to do restriction in this world? Why do we need to do with everything I have to say I don't want it? First I don't want it and then I take it. Why do I have to do it? Because the immediate desire that I have is small. So when I push the immediate desire, I'm preparing myself for a bigger desire. The reason you say no to the immediate desire that you have is not because you are polite or you use morality. It's simply because you are creating an all new desire. If you're not capable to say no to something that you want very much, you're not ready yet for the big things. For that reason, a lack of self-control of a human being will make that person not to control their life. If you have any type of bad habit, that bad habit is exactly what preventing you from being who you're meant to be. What is your bad habit? What is exactly bad habit? Small, little, stupid desire that control you. Everybody has a bad habit. Everybody has something. Laziness, addiction, isolation from people, all kind of thing. We all have it. So that small desire cannot be turned yet to a big desire. It's waiting for me to say no to the small desire. And for that reason, love of Isaac to Rebekah was an ultimate love. It's written there that he took her to be his wife, then she became his wife, then he fell in love with her. Right? The famous question, first fall in love, ask her to be your wife, marry her, right? It seemed like a reverse here. It seemed like a reverse, okay? Because you build down to the true desire. Because sometimes when you're taking a wife or a husband, you don't know where you came from. Maybe you came from the wrong place. You came because you're lonely. You came because you gotta be with somebody. You came because you wanna do it for children. Love is a beautiful thing. But to receive the all love that we're looking for, and what we call love today, it's a very much a misconception of the word love. People call love, but it's not really love. Well, I love you. What do you mean I love you? Don't leave me. It's like instead of saying don't leave me, say I love you. How do you say don't leave me in a nice way? I love you. What do you mean? Don't leave me. I love you. What does I love you mean? I love you mean I want something from you. But I love you is supposed to be I want nothing from you. Nothing, zero. I don't even want to give you anything. There's just two people together. That's a true love. If you look at the gematria of the word love, it's echad, 1. 13, 1. If you put 213 together, you get 26, which is the name of God. From here we learn the true essence of love is 1. How do you get there? By not wanting it in that way, wanting it because there's so much abundance. Some people don't know how to receive. Don't know how to receive. Don't enjoy receiving. A true man, if you meet a real muscular man, they don't enjoy receiving actually. A true man hates receiving. Because they're unpin, want to give. So how do you make a true man happy? Allow them to give you. It's not just money or materialism. It's like, give you advice, give you this. True man, enjoy that. That's what make a man man. I'm the man. I'm the man. I'm the dude, right? A woman built differently. A woman built from a receiving force. But a woman is ashamed of the receiving force. Because after the Tzimtzum, women cannot receive any longer without restriction. That's why women being polite all the time. No, it's okay, no, it's okay, no, it's okay. No, it's okay, no, it's okay. They order one roll of sushi and maybe eat 2 of the roll, only 2. After everybody leave, let's order 5, What happened? Well, I grew up with 3 sisters, so that's where it's from. Didn't grow up with a brother. As my sister used to ask me, is the white make me look fat? I said, no, it's the white of the creams that you ate make you look fat. She used to hit me after I used to say it. Yeah, I have 2 older sisters. But the idea, used to be a bad boy with my words. It's the only part. Stay, still, same area. But what I'm trying to say is we build differently. The men and women build very differently. And you need to know it. Smart women know how to make the man give and make him happy. Smart men know how to make the woman receive without she feeling ashamed. If you get these together, a winner. So, when a man want to give love, he want to impress. The only thing he wants is kavod, honor, pride, ego. A macho ego. It's not the ego like women. Women ego is different. Man ego is a childish ego. It's a very 5 years old ego. He want to impress you. Oh my God, he wants some compliment. So a man guy buy you shoes, said this cost me $360. A woman say, but it's ugly. So, but it's $360, So it's not about the look, it's about, look what I did. I achieved something. So you got to find. So when we talk about Isaac loved Rebecca, he was able to give all the love he want, and she was able to receive all the love he want to give. When Rebecca loved Isaac, she was able to give him the chance to give her everything he want to give her. So together there is harmony. That's true love. So love is not what we think it is. All those songs, I want to know what love is, and all those billion songs. How many songs there's about love, my God. None of these songs talk about love. All about misery, depression. This woman from England, I forgot the song, the victim one. You never know someone like you or something like that. My God, what a depressing song. My God. I took initiation 9 years ago and changed the words. And I recorded in a studio, by the way. I took a group with me, and I said, I'm done with that word, but I love the music. I went to a studio, took a guitar, took a few people. We closed the studio for 4 hours to record. I don't know what the song, I have to look for the disc. We did all new words for that song. It bothered me. In the end, I found that I knew the manager that actually signed her up from England. Yeah, the end. I used to bless him when he was young. So his mom used to bring him, and I didn't know that it was him. And then I said, I'm not getting involved with this thing. I'm done. But what I'm trying to say, love is a beautiful thing. But it's not what I think it is. So if food for you mean love, and your partner give you food, It's not necessarily the love that I'm talking about. It's what you're lacking in that moment, and how you get fulfilled. It feels good, but it's not love. Love is that endless abundance that exists that you are creating desire for. You're basically opening yourself and saying, I'm opening myself to receive all this wonderful gift that the universe want to give me. I'm opening myself, that's it. Because otherwise, I see many people going on a date, and I'm in the middle actually of putting two people together now. It's a disaster, my God, what is that? So much suspicion. So what is this suspicion? They need a detective there, not a date. What is he, what is that, what is that, what she said, what he said? I said, guys, I don't know what's going on. Just go and, I don't know, fight or laugh. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea where it's going to go. No clue. Why don't we just, but it's a way the universe is operating now, very suspicious. Everybody don't trust, everybody burned out. But why? Because they don't want love. They want fulfillment for the thing they don't have. And so they chasing their own tails. They keep going. When I'm going to get what I want, when I'm going to get what I want. No, forget about what you want is wrong. You want the food, you call it love. You want foreigner to sing for you, I want to know what love is, that's what you want. But that's not love. Love is resurrect. Resurrect your love. It's a whole beautiful thing. But I can't tell you what does love mean for you until you wake up that concept. You don't know yet what love is if you didn't wake that up. It's not about how they look. I mean, attraction is part of it, but it cannot be all of it. It cannot be. It cannot be physical attraction. I just sent to one of my friends a video from somebody who had an accident, very bad accident. And the fiance he had, after 2 years of therapy in hospital and all this and that, he cannot walk. And they got married and so much love. It was so much love. It was so beautiful. I'm not going into the negative part. You can say, well, she's like that, it's like that. We can go into psychological part of it, but it wasn't about what she's gonna get, what he's gonna get. He's embarrassed. She's found a way. If you saw that Boston movie, whatever they call, the people who run the marathon, you saw that movie? I don't know if you ever saw. I don't know the name. Patriot something. Huh? No, when they did the marathon and it was explosion. Yeah, so it was a movie on that. So at the end of the movie, they showed the real people. Some of them lost legs and all this, that. Some of them met in the hospital and got married. 200. Love is not about how do I fulfill the part about me that I don't have. Then I'm sorry to say it, it sounds really bad, but I want it to sound bad purposely. We become prostitute. Prostitute is not just sex and money. It's what I'm going to get from you. That's what prostitute translation, in Hebrew at least, is what I'm going to get by you being with me and what I'm supposed to give. I'm going to give you that, you're going to give me that. That's a deal. It's a deal. I had a lady, I can say now because she doesn't live here, from Sunset on the area where it's very expensive. She used to cry to me why she and her husband not in love. I said, because you never marry him for love. So what do you mean? So, well, look where you live. I mean, it's very important for you. Would you let all of this go for love? She was quiet. So you don't. Love is not your goal. So if that's your goal, you're doing well. You want a big home, you want money, who wouldn't want a private jet, helicopter? It's all perfect. So you don't have love. Big deal. You have everything else. Most people don't have love. Some of those people who think they have love don't have love. Love, to resurrect yourself from love, you have to wake up the left column, the true left column. If you don't have left column, meaning I'm here to receive all that beauty that the divine, the nature, that everything want to give me, include my dating. But I'm not here to receive the thing I don't have. That's not true love. That's taking you into a wrong arena, my friend. We have a few more minutes, so let's read another section. Yeah, continue.
He answered,
I actually read it already on my own. Let's see how we are awakening the desire, please. Go ahead.
Rabbi Hizkiah opened with this verse, who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers. Did not Hashem? Come and behold, from the time the temple was destroyed, no blessings hovered about the world. They stopped, as if detained above in the upper world and below in the lower world. All these lower grades were strengthened and ruled over Israel, because Israel had brought it about by their transgression. This absence of blessings in the upper world occurred because the lower beings were not worthy of receiving them, and all the abundance that they had given to the lower world was withheld, for there was no one to give it to.
So now you more understand even the love, as the Zohar said. It's all the idea of resurrection, all the idea of Israel. And Israel, who is the people of Israel? Who are they exactly? I mean, very difficult to find out the original Israel. I mean, what they say that they went to India, the original Israel, Tunisia. There's two places, Tunisia, India. Those are the places where, before the first temple was destroyed, first temple, not second, most of the original Israel were in India. But we don't know exactly what city or where they are, and if they went to Persia or Iraq or Japan. Some say China, Shanghai, and we don't know. I'm reading now a book actually from the Gaon Mivilna that write about that the original was in India, and even the American Indian was the original Israel. But they forget all the laws and regulation from Jacob. Crazy, right? American Indian. I mean, hear that. So we don't know what's right, what's wrong. I mean, it makes sense now about all what those people, the Mormons said about Utah. You know, what's his name? David Weiss. What's the name of the? Smith. So what does that mean that resurrected the desire? How do you resurrect your own desire? It's two things. First, why do you want what you want? And second, who do you mashpia? Mashpia means who do you influence? Let's say you study now something, right? You just receive some knowledge. Let's say you're going to remember 5 minutes of what I say tonight. You're going to remember 5 minutes of what the Zohar say tonight. Who are you going to share it with? How many people are you going to share it with? If it stays just with you, then this knowledge not only it's not affecting you, it doesn't affect others, it doesn't affect you at all. Not only it's going to disappear, it might confuse you later on. Immediately after you study something, share it. Share it in a way that the person will understand it. If you don't find people to share it, you should look inside why there is nobody I can share it with. Don't judge the person to be stupid not to understand you. Look inside of you to ask yourself why I cannot explain such a simple concept to another person. You need to learn to explain desire, what we studied tonight, to explain love, what we studied tonight, to explain the story of Rebecca. There's so much. But you don't need all of it. Small. 1 minute, 2 minutes. Once you're capable to do that, then you know you start activating within you the system of a true receiving. But if you don't share it with anybody and it stays only within you, you are creating within you the desire that we are talking about before, which is bad for you. So it's very important to understand the two different, and don't be surprised that you run into the wrong people, the wrong thing. It's not because it is the wrong thing, it's because you are drawing without sharing enough. So it's okay to draw all the wonderful thing, but it's a, they sin. What is the sin of Israel? When they are no longer affecting something below them. So every time you teach someone what you study tonight or any other night, you are actually, they become below you and you become the mashpia. You become the one who has influenced them. Almost like to take a bottle of wine and pour it to the glass. The bottle of wine, from a gravity point of view, has to be above. The same thing from a spiritual point of view, when you share, you're always above. It doesn't mean that the people you share it with are not as good as you are. You know, they just don't know yet what you're about to tell them. For that reason, you are the sharing, you are the above, and you are pouring it to them. Then what you study stay with you. Not only it stay with you, it start to be activated, like if you truly understand it and study it. So you activate those forces to be real, automatically. We need to have two energy within us. We're resurrecting two type of things within us. The desire, which is I want to desire all of it, and sharing at the same time. And once you share, don't feel like you lost something. God forbid. You have to feel like you are getting the real thing that was inside of you, now it's going to stay. People who don't share, whatever they cheap with money, time, or love, or explanation, or kindness, they cannot have kindness. People who don't share money cannot have the money. What about all those billionaires who don't share even a penny? They have the money, yeah, but they cannot enjoy the money to a full capacity of what the money can do for them. If you don't share time, you cannot have time. If you don't share love, you cannot have love. So yes, you can ask for all the love in the world, but at the same time, who do you share the love with? And if you already think you're sharing enough, you got it all wrong, my friend. There's no such thing as sharing enough, because that pipe never stops. It's opening on both sides. I want to wish you a wonderful week. Those of you who celebrate Halloween, go and celebrate with a lot of responsibility, okay? Because it's dangerous, and I know it's going to be a week of a lot of party. I already feel it in the air. So let me do it before the end.